Okay, now what I have here is a sample schematic diagram of a simple refrigeration system. And from the last video, we able to compute the refrigerating the load, no, load of the amount of the load that we need to remove. Now, we cannot directly apply this one as a load of the evaporator, since this is just only we call this a heat. No, we need a time in order so that it can be we may able to get it in terms of uh, unit power. No, so from the last equation, remembering that the value here, no, yung Q total natin. So this is yung Q total, which is yung Q sub 1 plus the Q2 plus the Q3 and plus the Q4. Now this is all over, no, divided by 3,600 times the allotted time, no? Okay, for me, now I will be giving the allotted time. So given that the allotted time is around let's say this is maybe around 1 hour. So I want the load will be uh removed within 1 hour. So assumingly, no, given that the load can be removed at 1 hour, so I can compute now my or I can design now the refrigerating load of my evaporator, as usually that will be the Q, that will be 33,732. So that is in terms of kilojoule per second. Now this is all over, no, divided by 3,600. So usually the 3,600, that is in the conversions of second usually, no. So this is 3,600. Now just to break down this one, so let me to break down this one. This is 1 hour, no. Let's try to break down this one. So 1 hour, if you're going to convert the 1 hour in, call this 60 seconds. Now, so if we try to break this one, so usually this is 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes, no? And that is 1 hour. So let's have a magandang conversion dito. And also 1 minute, usually 1 minute, that is equal to 60 seconds, usually 60 seconds. Yes, okay, no. Now canceling yung mga units natin here, so removing this one, and also the minutes here. So we have the seconds, no. So usually if you're going to multiply the 60 times 6, so that is equal to 3,600. So that's why meron ng 3,600 yan, just to simplify the conversion or appropriate solution for the equation, no? Now pressing your calculator, so this is equal now to 9.37. So the units is kilojoule per second, or that will be in terms of kilowatt. So that is already in unit of power. So this now become the load na ng evaporator natin, no? So from the previous problem kasi, and also from the previous lecture, so the load is already being given, binibigay na kaagad sa mga problems, and also even the quizzes, binibigay na kaagad ang load ng evaporator. Now this time you have to compute the load ng evaporator, which is depende doon sa type of product ng application ng refrigeration system mo. Okay? So, let's start to give the datas naman doon para sa values ng ating refrigerating system. So, what will be the temperature ng evaporator? No? So, that will be the one good question here. No? Now, let's go back to the problem. No? Let's try to go back or switch that one, going back to the problem stated. So, going back here, so that is 100 kilogram of beef from negative 18. So usually, 18 to 4 degrees. So to be cooled, so papalamigin lang siya from negative 18 to 4, no? So yun lang, papalamigin lang siya from negative 18 to 4. Then we're going to frozen and cool that one to negative 18. So yun. So the freezing temperature is assumed to be negative 2. Now, mapapansin nyo, negative 18. So, we'll be using negative 18. So, why negative 18? Because that is the storage temperature or the final temperature of the product. So, in order to keep the product in is desired temperature, so will be using negative 18. So, there are times na mas mababa pa yan minsan na binibigay na temperature. Ang nangyayari lang that is that we have the thermostat and also to control, no? Once the temperature is reached at or I mean, well, yeah, if it is reached negative 18, you can stop the operation of the system. But for us now, since we are especially pag yung mga manufacturer, they are more dealing with, so katulad ng mga blast freezer, they do not know what is the, usually kung, especially kung multi-function yung blast freezer, so they can be easily, minsan binababaan pa ng temperature yan. So you can adjust, no? Deviate the temperature at different level, no? Kung ano ba gusto mo mas mababa, and also you can adjust yung thermostat, pwede niyan laruin yung desired temperature. Now for us, so since that this is given to the problem is just only negative 18, we'll stick to negative 18 and we'll be using that one as the temperature ng evaporator natin. Okay? So using that one as my temperature of my evaporator, so I will be placing here negative 18 for my evaporator temperature, negative 18 degrees Celsius. So next, we have to write also yung the temperature ng condenser natin. So usually, let's give this one a temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now for demonstrations here, I will be using the refrigerant that is circulating the system is just only on mag-ammonia na lang tayo, R717. Okay, so we'll be using that as a refrigerant that is cycling the system. Now for the properties, so I will bringing down here yung tawag dito, table properties na R717. Now I bring down here the shortcut table ko na lang ito, so pakita na yung buo na so lahat naman meron mga tables na rin, no? Okay, so I will be listing down here mga properties dito. So that will be at point 1, so will be at point 1, no? At point 1. Okay. Now at point 1 we have that will be the temperature is negative 18 degrees Celsius. So at point 1 we have your enthalpy at point 1, so that will be the Hg, no? Hg usually at given negative 18 degrees Celsius. Usually this is already in terms of vapor, no? Now, looking at the refrigerant properties, so we have the enthalpy. So this is already classified in two. We have your vapor. So we have the value of 1440.39. So this is kilojoule per kilogram. Okay. Then enthalpy 1. Now we'll be needing the properties for enthalpy 2. So we'll be using the pH diagram. Now I'm bringing down here the table for 717. So it is a negative 18. So we have here negative 20. So plotting that one, no? Initially plotting natin yan. Okay. So we have the value usually from saturated liquid line into a saturated vapor. So we have here the location of negative 18. So okay, so somewhere 1,400. Now for the values, so let's try to compare that one yung sa values na nakita natin. So which is negative 18, that is 1,440 in terms of vapor. So this one. Okay. So we can also increase ito para tumama din doon sa value. So in between kasi is 1,500, no? But we can undo this one and let's try to increase yung layo niyan dito in order tumapat doon sa 1,400. So para mag-same na value, di ba? Then we have here yung 0.1, no? So this will become my 0.1 at this point. So let me try to. So this is my 0.1. Okay. At this point, the saturated vapor. Then we have the condensing temperature. So that will be 34. Okay. So let's plot that one, 34 degrees for the high pressure side. And we have 34. So this is 20. So it is in between somewhere here, no? Okay. So somewhere there yung location ng 0.3, no? O yung condenser natin. Okay. Now, since we have here isentropic compression between 0.1 and 0.2, no? So I can write here that my that I can write here my S1, ang S1 natin, S1, that will be SG, no? So that will be S1 is equal to SG, no? So from here, from the table, we have negative 18. So that is negative 18. So the entropy in terms of vapor, so this is already 5.8736. Okay. This is 5.8736. So the unit is kilojoule per kilogram. So that is Kelvin. Okay. And let's try to put this one on the table natin dito sa pH diagram. Let's try to plot that one. This is 5.87, no? So that is 5.87. So we have here 5.6 and 6.0. Now if we'll draw the line that is parallel, no? Parallel with this 6.0. So we have this one, no? If we're going to draw the parallel line, so we have here the intersection. So this gives our location ng 0.2 natin, no? Now, determining the location of that one. So let's try to draw a line to find the intersection, the location of this one. Now this can be approximated as 1607, that is an kilojoule per kilogram, no? So writing that down here sa table, sa mga properties natin, so that is 1670 kilojoule per kilogram. So that is coming from the pH diagram. Now going back to the pH diagram, so let's determine naman yung properties natin, which is yung 0.3, no? So 0.3, it can be determined by using the pH diagram, or we can also use yung tawag dito, table. So that is 34. So again, that is already in the liquid state, since line ito is a saturated liquid line, so we can be using the values of the refrigerant, the enthalpy of liquid state, no? So at 34, we have the value of 361.19. Now writing that one, so that is 361 coming from here, 0.19, that will be kilojoule per kilogram. Now for at 0.4, no, so usually ang 0.4 natin, so 0.4, usually the enthalpy of 0.4 is equal now to your enthalpy 3. So we have a constant enthalpy process going to 0.3, no? So we have now here the intersection, so that will be, this is my 0.4, okay? So we may able to complete now the cycle, okay? And we can now truly compute the process here to size yung compressors and condensers, and your mass flow rate na required the system, no? Now to get yung call this mass flow rate of the refrigerant, so this is simply as my call this so this is simply as your Q total. So I will be equating that one yung Q ng evaporator natin. So Q ng evaporator, so that will be equal to the mass flow rate. Now the change in enthalpy from 1 to 4. So, yun ang kailangan natin. Change enthalpy from 0.1 to 4. So, that will be enthalpy 1 minus my enthalpy 4. So, that will be the equation. So, yung load natin, that will be 9.37 kilowatts. So we can rewrite here, that will be 9.37. So, this is kilojoule per second, which is equal to the mass flow rate natin. Then, we have the change in enthalpy from 0.1 to 0.4. Yung 0.1 natin, the value that is 1,440. That will be 0.39. And yung enthalpy 4 naman natin, so that will be equal to enthalpy 3. So enthalpy 3 natin pala ito. That is 361.19. So this is 361.19. And the units is kilojoule per kilogram. Okay? Now, we can cancel dito yung kilojoule. So, in order na maram na lang tayo is the mass flow rate, no? So, using your calculator, so we may able to find that the mass flow rate of the refrigerant is equal to, this is 0.00, that will be 86. Or we can round this one to 87 na lang, no? So this is now kilogram per second. Now na meron na tayong mass flow rate, we may able to solve yung ano naman, we call this the size ng compressor natin. So that will be work of the compressor, so that will be equal to your mass flow rate. Now referring to the cycle diagram, so that is simply as the change in enthalpy from 0.2 to 0.1, no? So that will be the mass flow rate, then multiply by enthalpy 2 minus your enthalpy 1. Since given ay mass flow rate natin and the other data, and nakuha na natin yung enthalpy 2 and enthalpy 1, so we may able to substitute that one already to the equation. So we have the mass flow rate, which is 0.00 That will be 87, so that is kilogram per second. So multiplying this one by the change in enthalpy, we have your enthalpy 2, that will be is equal to 1,670, diba? So we have 1,670 minus my enthalpy 1, so we have 1,440. Okay, so this is 1,440, 0.39, no? This is 0.39. Okay, and this is equal to kilojoule per kilogram. Now, canceling dito yung units ng kilogram, and we may able to get yung kilowatts, so for the work ng compressor. So finally, I have the value of that is 1.997, or we can round this one into a 2 kilowatt. Okay, so converting this one in terms of horsepower, so usually 1 horsepower divided by this is so this is in kilowatt, so that we'll be using 0.746 so kilowatt. So finally, we may able to find the work ng compressor in terms of horsepower. So this is equal to 2.68 horsepower. Now, let's try to compute naman yung compressor, no? Ay, sorry, the condenser. So, the size of the condenser usually. So, again, so basing on the schematic diagram, so for the heat of the condenser, the capacity or the size of the condenser, so that will be the mass flow rate. Now, we have the change in enthalpy. So, we have the enthalpy 2 minus my enthalpy 3. Okay? So, vice versa lang din naman yan. So, in order na hindi ako magkaroon ng negative sign value, so inuna ko na lang yung mataas na value. So, usually, mataas ang enthalpy ng 0.2 to 0.3. Okay? So, we have the heat rejected on the condenser. So, that will be the mass flow rate, which is equal to 0.00. So, that is 87. So, this is kilogram, no? And multiply by the change in enthalpy, where my enthalpy 2 natin, so enthalpy 2, we have that is 1,670. Okay, and this is minus with my enthalpy 3, that is 361.19. Okay, and the units is kilojoule per kilogram. So we may able to cancel now the kilogram here, so canceling that the units. So for the heat rejected to the condenser, so this is now equal to 11.37. So this is kilojoule per second, or this is kilowatt. Okay, that's it. So that's complete the solution. So this is just only to show you for simple refrigeration system, applying the product load. Now, later on, we'll be also applying that one. So usually on the multi-pressure system, cascade systems, and we have air refrigeration systems and steam jet refrigeration systems, and later on. So everything load will be calculated already, which is based on yung different properties ng material na or the product that will be used sa or the product that is being the load of the evaporator.